Okay, ladies and gentlemen, looks like we are back. Yeah, sorry, the beginning half of that where I restarted a new save, my settings were still set to private on title. Once that becomes VOD, I'm gonna have to just change the settings on that. Apologize for those. But I restarted a new save. We are in Hufflepuff. Just wanted to do a house that I thought maybe not everybody would be doing. Figured Gryffindor and Slytherin would be like super popular ones that everyone's gonna choose. My main save in this game is Ravenclaw. That for like 4 hours last night. This game's got pretty far, but still haven't gotten to flying around yet. But anyways, let's just jump straight back into it. Go from there. That's it. Where we left off is part of the beginning of the game. Finally get to school, you choose your house. Spend the first night. This is like the first portion of the game where you pick up and you can actually take around inside Hogwarts. Like how there's a this open world is massive. A lot to take in, but in the very beginning, it is pretty linear. You still have some choice, and you have some free roam around, but a lot of dialogue, and it guides you, holds your hand. And I was worried that it would be a bit too much, overbearing, or not enough at all. And I'm pleasantly surprised. They did a great job with how, like, not just the story, gameplay, mechanics of the game.
My older sister,
You don't get, like, option paralysis right off the bat. So much.
I heard that someone cast the Confunders charm on a Ravenclaw 4th year, so they couldn't answer the riddle.
While I remember,
I watched all the videos where they did a tour of each house's common room. I'll tell you, health now.
Can't imagine starting with this day.
I suppose some introductions are in order.
Oh, hello. She's awfully regal, isn't she?
Is that your owl?
I don't know who she is. Likely one of the Hufflepuffs around here. Owls choose their own company anyway. Wait, you're the new 5th year. Quite the dramatic entrance you made. Can't imagine wanting to call attention to yourself, especially since everyone will be watching to see how much you already know.
I am a bit concerned. I have a lot of catching up to do.
Indeed. 4 years of schoolwork is a bit... being that far behind, I'd feel so... inadequate. Of course, presumably, as a hard-working Hufflepuff, you'll prove yourself in no time. I'm hard-working too, as you might suspect. Sometimes I think I should have been a Ravenclaw. I've rather a searing wit. At least people have always told me so. I'm Lenora, by the way. Lenora Everly.
Yeah, Lenora.
Well, mustn't keep you. You've such a lot to do.
Wow.
Do you really think you should have been in Ravenclaw?
Well, my brothers were. They both work in the ministry now. I suppose you could say that wit runs in the family. My aunt was a Gryffindor, though, and I've always had plenty in common with her. Determination, valor, daring. The old sorting hat was spoiled for choice with me.
Well, okay then. You're full of yourself.
It was nice meeting you, Lenora.
Of course. Adieu.
So now, let's see how other people
I need someone to lend me
Think
some
of-
potions.
themselves.
Oh dear. Oh, Uncle, this doesn't sound like you. Something's wrong. Oh, hello there. You're the new Hufflepuff, yes? I'm Adelaide. Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Is everything all right?
Oh, yes. I'm just a bit distracted. Letter from my uncle. So tell me, I've been hearing all sorts of rumors. Were you really nearly gobbled up by a dragon?
That one is true. Not the typical start to a new school.
That's dreadful. Well, I'm glad you made it here alive. Well, anyway, I imagine you have lots to do. I hope you have a wonderful first day.
Are you sure everything is all right with your uncle?
Oh, yes. He travels for work, always busy. I'm sure he just wrote it in a rush. Nothing to worry about.
Thank you, Adelaide. Be seeing you.
Of course. And good luck.
Arthur's got you. It's all right. You don't need to be frightened, little cat.
I can't quite reach.
Okay.
Come on, he went that way.
Hope they can catch him. Big castle for a student to get lost in, let alone a cat. I'm sure you'll find your way all right. I mean, it can be a bit overwhelming at first. I still get lost sometimes. Welcome to Hufflepuff, by the way. Really glad to have you in our house. I'm Arthur.
Thank you. Nice to meet you. Was that your cat?
No, one of the first years, I think. Don't have any pets of my own, unfortunately. My mother doesn't think too highly of them, especially magical ones.
I'm sorry to hear that. I think magical beasts are rather incredible.
Best thing about coming to Hogwarts. Nifflers, glumbumbles, bowtruckles. I thought they were only pictures in books before. Well, Dad did bring home a puffskein once. Mum was furious. Anyway, I better go make sure the first years caught that cat. Don't want them to be late on their first day.
Have you ever had a pet, Arthur?
No. My mother's a muggle, and as soon as the puffskein that my dad brought home stuck its tongue up her nose, it went right back to the shop.
Nice meeting you, Arthur. And good luck finding that cat.
Thank you. Try not to get lost in the castle yourself.
Will do.
Is the new Hufflepuff out of bed yet? Professor Weasley's waiting for them outside the common room.
Good morning. I trust you're ready for your first day at Hogwarts?
I've been dreaming of this day for a long time. Can't believe I'm here.
Well, you are here. Make the most of it. You only have one first day at Hogwarts. Now, in light of your unique situation, joining us as a fifth year, you'll need to catch up with your classmates and not fall behind. Especially as you'll be expected to complete your OWLs at the end of the year.
OWLs? Owls?
Yes, your ordinary wizarding
Yeah,
level
you know the
exams.
MCAS.
They will
SATs,
determine what type of career you can have
ASVAB.
when you leave here. After much discussion with the headmaster and the Department of Magical Education at the Ministry, we've devised something extraordinary to ensure your success. Here you are.
What is it?
It is a wizard's field guide. It will help you to keep track of what you are learning so that you master all that's expected of a fifth year. you would be wise to take full advantage of this exceptionally valuable resource.
Thank you, Professor, but what do you mean it will keep track of what I'm learning?
Perhaps seeing it in action will answer any questions you may have. Walk with me and we shall put it to the test. This way. The guide will give you opportunities to practice your magic and educate yourself about wizarding lore. I certainly would have
Revelio.
appreciated something like the field guide when I was a student. Using the guide will also train you to be alert to your surroundings. Do keep up.
Yes, ma'am. Snacks everywhere.
Simply cast Revelio on it, and we'll see what the guide says. Clever, isn't it? Keep your eyes open for more opportunities like that, inside and outside of the castle. Ah, good timing. Perfect opportunity to show you how to use flue flames to get around a bit quicker. Your field guide contains a map of the castle. Open it up and find Central Hall.
Right? This game is so cool, man.
And
So
here we are.
excited to
Quite the time saver.
experience it.
These
in all
stairs
its
lead
glory.
directly to Central Hall. You can get almost anywhere in the castle quickly from Central Hall. Always something happening here. It's the heart of the hive, our King's Cross station, so to speak.
It all baffles me.
That should be all for now. You'll be expected to attend both Charms and Defense Against the Dark Arts classes today. And I'd like to be sure you get to Hogsmeade as soon as possible to replace the supplies you lost on the way here.
Thank you, Professor Weasley.
A lot to absorb on your first day, and you have much to learn. Happily, your professors have agreed to create additional assignments for you outside of class. You'll be up to speed in no time. Judging by your adept use of Revelio earlier, I'd say Professor Fig succeeded in at least showing you the basics.
He did, Professor.
He's been terribly vague as to the events preceding your arrival, specifically about what happened after that awful dragon attack. My suspicion is that there's more to the story than a search for belongings and an extended trip up to the castle.
So, I was instructed not to say anything to anyone, so I'm gonna stick to that.
I'm sorry, Professor, but I'm afraid that's all there is to it.
Almost precisely what Professor Fig said. Speak of the devil, Professor Fig. Your ears must have been burning.
Oh?
Yes. You seem to have provided our new fifth year with a solid foundation in the basics of spellcasting.
Ah, I'm afraid I can't take all the credit there, Professor. They've a rare aptitude for magic, it seems.
Well, I'm just glad you both arrived in one piece. Perfectly good boats and carriages to Hogwarts, and you chose to fly in the path of a dragon.
I wouldn't say I chose the dragon's path, Professor. Rather unfortunately, it would seem that it chose us.
Very well. Enough chit-chat. I need to get to class myself. Might I rely on you, Professor Fig, to explain the details of the field guide's map?
Of course.
Thank you. Good luck today. And remember to use your field guide. It will be invaluable to you. And invaluable to me, as I'll be using it to keep up to date on your progress.
Yes, Professor.
Come and find me in my classroom after you've attended both classes today, and I'll explain more about those assignments I mentioned. And we'll see if we can't get you to Hogsmeade for those supplies.
Got it.
It's good to see you, Professor.
And you. I was hoping our paths would cross today, before you immersed yourself in studies. Did I hear you masterfully evade Professor Weasley's interrogation regarding our late arrival?
I did try to evade her questions, though I feel a little deceptive. That said, I'm fairly certain she suspects that we're not being entirely forthcoming.
Yes, well, Professor Weasley is a brilliant and astute witch. It was right to keep the details to yourself for now. We don't know where this path we've embarked upon will lead. It may require a bit more flexibility with your time than she would approve of. And she may feel obliged to share details with the headmaster that would be better left between us.
Understood, Professor.
Good. Now, as capable as you are, I believe the ability you possess obliges you to be well trained. Happily, you have the benefit of an exceptionally skilled team of witches and wizards to guide you. Speaking of guides, and so that I may avoid another not-so-subtle reproof from Professor Weasley, why don't I show you the clever enchantment we included in the field guide's map? Unfold it and have a look.
Completing main quests will further the story, unlock new features, and grant XP. Right? The field guide map shows Professor Hecat's class, lower section of the astronomy wing. I could get lost in this castle. Yeah.
The map is enchanted to help you find your way.
This will be incredibly helpful. Thank you.
Now, sounds like you've quite a day ahead, what with classes and a trip to Hogsmeade for supplies, including your own wand. You'll enjoy Mr. Ollivander. He's an exceptional craftsman and a good friend. I shall reach out when I have more information about our mysterious locket. For now, focus on your classes and pay attention. More than your owls may hinge on the magic you are able to master within these walls.
Got it, my man. I still haven't figured these out yet. I'm sure that maybe I'm missing something here, but these little things are all over the castle. And you feel it. Gives you these triangles with numbers and question marks and symbols. All the symbols can be found around this thing here. But here's one of the roll things. There's another one, I think.
Just when I think I've learned how to
I
get
have
around.
not figured out for the life of me what these mean, how to solve it. All I know is that there's 2 question marks on that one.
Do you find yourself
That
thinking certain ways?
more than likely corresponds to this section here. It's a single question mark. This one probably. But I don't know the relationship between this number with this symbol and the number in the center. I just don't know. So we will leave it for now. Hopefully I'll figure that out later. Sure. So I'm probably gonna make references to God of War a lot, just because it's the last game I played that was story driven. These flue powder
Off on another adventure, are we?
Remind me a lot of like those mystic gateways, where every new location you get to, map, you need to find these and get close enough to them for it to register. Boom, it's in your map as green. Are automatically allowed to fast travel between. There are a ton of those throughout the map. Just sort of like getting yourself acquainted with the main quests and the main story in the beginning of the game will unlock quite a few things. But what I do recommend is once you start doing like the little side missions from talking to other students, a lot of those missions require you to go to like 6 different locations in the castle. I think that just, stay vigilant for those stations. Try to unlock as many of those as you can. But, once you get further in, it's more.
Is that all you've got?
Professor Hecat!
Perhaps you'd be good enough to blast each other to pieces on your own time. I get new students every year, but I only have one Hebridean black skull. It was a token from the Great Poacher Raid of 1878. No doubt you've heard of it. Now, you may be asking yourself how an old woman like me single-handedly took out the largest poacher ring in eastern Wales and lived to boast about it. Knowledge. To the wise, age matters very little. Today we will review a spell that has saved me from death at the hands of dark wizards more times than I care to remember. Levioso.
Levioso? A levitation charm?
Levioso! A surprised opponent is a weak opponent. Care to defend yourself, Master Pruitt? No? One thing I've learned as an unspeakable is the value of simplicity, especially in the heat of battle. Now, let's practice what we've just learned, starting with something small.
Ooh, alright, get to learn a spell, let's do it.
Levioso!
Now, let's try something a little larger. Let us begin with a basic cast. See how the dummy deflected your cast? This time, cast Levioso first, then the basic cast. Remember, a surprised opponent is a weak opponent, as Master Pruitt so artfully helped me demonstrate earlier.
Levioso!
Good! Now, well done. Very good, but the best way to practice is by dueling. We'll start with you two. Duelists, take your marks.
Time for a proper Hogwarts welcome.
Now, I want a fair duel, using only Levioso, basic cast, and Protego. You may begin.
This should be easy. Protego! Protego? Levioso! Case things. I know. Stupefy! This can't be your first duel.
Let's just say I'm a quick learner. Stupefy!
I do need a strong lively duel.
Not bad for a beginner. You give as good as you get.
I got nothing.
I put you on the spot,
himself.
and
Look at
you
him.
rose to the challenge. Points to Hufflepuff.
Thank you, Professor Hecat. Glad to have the opportunity to practice.
If what I've seen today is any indication, we can expect great things from you.
Combat and combos
I
are
demand
so smooth in
excellence
this
from my
game.
students.
I really like it.
They are capable of achieving it, and
I had
they
no idea
must
what to
achieve
expect
it.
as far as
A
combat in this
classroom
game, just
duel
because
is
we
one
have
thing,
no
but battling dark wizards, or as ever more likely,
one-for-one
goblins,
comparison.
is a different kettle of Grindylows entirely.
Understood, Professor.
So, I'd advise you to keep practicing whenever you can.
Excellently done, though.
Perhaps Mr. Sallow will have some ideas for you. Again, well done today. I shall reach out soon with additional assignments. All right, that's enough spectacle for one day. Class is just...
I'd hate to face Professor Hecat in a duel.
If you know the right spells, it's dark wizards that'll fear you, not the other way around.
Revelio.
Always thought Leviosa was for first years. Not anymore.
Oh, I'm not much for dueling. I prefer to keep things friendly.
Oh, yes, yes.
Nice work.
I enjoyed that.
Well, that duel was quite something. Everyone will be talking about it.
It was certainly good practice.
Practice. It felt more like I was dueling an expert. Sebastian Sallow, by the way. Didn't expect a new student to be so deft with a wand. Then again, perhaps this wasn't your first duel.
I don't know.
In fact, it was. Perhaps I have a knack for it.
Be coy if you like, but I know better. Magic requires intention and talent. You know, you might be a perfect fit for a certain exclusive, unsanctioned dueling organization.
Oh, yeah?
Exclusive and unsanctioned. Count me in.
Excellent. Knew I was right about you. If you want to get the most out
Maybe
of
I
your
should have
time
been
at
Slytherin then,
Hogwarts, you're going to need to break the rules now and then. Whether it's joining a secret dueling club or sneaking into the restricted section of the library, you just have to be clever enough not to get caught.
Thank you,
brother.
Sebastian. I'll keep that in mind.
Good. Pleasure chatting with you. I'm sure I'll see you soon. Perhaps somewhere unsanctioned? We'll see if your performance today was sheer luck or actual skill. Look for Luke and Brattleby near the clock tower entrance. If you're interested.
All right.
Till next time.
Got it, man.
You drilled Sebastian. He's strong competition. Well done.
Yeah. So, as far as dialogue goes, I'm not exactly sure if choices you make in conversations actually have like any sort of impact on the game or relationships with other characters.
Handy resource indeed, your field guide.
I'm sure,
I'm
you know,
most pleased to be
once you see
included.
you know, a lot of content out there for this game, you'll be able to tell whether or not that's true. But just for my sake, I think in the beginning, I'm just gonna play it humble. No need to be all, you know, in people's faces or treating people poorly. No, this is a wholesome game. I'm just gonna kind of keep it wholesome for the time being. You know, maybe I can gain a little confidence and get a little cocky once my reputation starts to precede me. But
I'm sorry.
as for now, I am a new student as a 5th year. I don't even have my own wand, bro. I'm like still borrowing a wand. Don't know too much about this character's backstory.
My oldest sister,
or,
Professor
like,
Ronan
why.
tends to go on a bit. We sometimes have to remind him to finish the lesson.
Some of us don't necessarily want them to go back to the lesson.
Here, behind you. There is an open seat here.
Thank you.
Hello, I am Nettie. So you are the new student. Have you met Professor Ronan yet?
Shall we begin? Welcome to Year 5 of Charms. Now, this will be a crucial year in your education on the art of charm work. But I am confident that we will take hold with the passion and rigor requisite of such a challenge. Right, now, everyone, please open your textbooks to page 517. But before we begin, can anyone here tell me the difference between the incantations of the color change and growth charms? Anyone? Anyone? I am afraid it is too late to study now. My, the summer months must have really taken a toll on you all. By the looks of it, you all spent your holidays practicing Obliviate on one another. Do you even remember how to perform a basic summoning charm? Well, it seems that we are in dire need of review. Everyone get into pairs and take positions on opposite sides of the classroom. Now let's put those textbooks to use as the blunt objects you so believe they are, and take turns summoning them out of one another's hands. Only one book will be needed per partnership, Miss Dale. Thank you. Get into place now.
One yet.
Accio.
That is not bad.
You are a swift learner. I see a lot of potential, but remember, potential is nothing without practice. Keep at it. You might just rival Miss Onai here. Very good, everyone. That's enough of that. Well, as you all seem to have the basics down, and it is an exceptionally lovely day, I was thinking that we might have ourselves a little excursion outside for a spot of fresh air. After me! I've always found that fun goes hand in hand with mastery, as I'm sure the Quidditch players amongst us would agree, So, what better than a bit of sport to put our prowess with the summoning charm to the test, right?
So, this is the first game I've really seen where I'm on PC.
So why don't we have our newest student start us off?
Of my 2 terabyte NVMe SSD. So it's blazing fast. And,
very simply,
like
cast Accio on one of the spheres and relinquish your charm at the last possible moment.
I'll put all my
Now, think of this like gobstones, if you will.
Great.
But instead of throwing the marbles out, you are summoning them toward you. The trick is to pull the sphere as far as possible, but not a bit more, or it'll fall, yes? Now, I could keep talking about theory all day, but practice is the best professor. Show us how it's done. Accio! Excellent control there.
So yeah, you know, this is the first game I've really played where, even with my super fast SSD and having the advantages of being on a computer that I built, I noticed that load times could be faster still, and they could be more optimized. Now, interestingly enough, I've seen some gameplay on the PlayStation 5 and stuff like that, and I don't seem to have quite the same speed and fluidity as the console, and there's still much to be desired in both, but I definitely feel like this is the first game I've played where it could seriously benefit from Microsoft's new direct storage API. Can't wait to see it implement after they launch or just have to wait.
Accio!
That's it! Splendid! Very good. Points to Hufflepuff. But there's certainly no sport in playing without some friendly competition. Miss Onai, would you care to give our new student a bit of a challenge? Come on up. You'll be the blues, just as before, and Miss Onai, you are playing red. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Let us see this. There we go.
And knock hers off. That is so good.
Accio!
Excellent control there.
Watch this. That is how it's done. Brilliant. Here we go. Yes!
Accio!
A perfect score. Remarkable. Let us make this a bit more interesting, shall we?
I think we are well past interesting at this point.
I'll say.
Enough chatter. Focus now. You will need it. This round settles it all.
Let us see this.
Oh, you got lucky there.
There we go.
Accio!
Very good.
Watch this.
Watch this. Whoa.
I thought I had that. Nicely done. Here we go.
Oh, okay.
That is how it's done.
Sure now.
Accio!
Two perfect rounds. You're a natural.
Well, thank you.
Very good, both of you. Well done. Class is dismissed. Gather your things on the way out.
Good game back there. I must admit, I think I underestimated you. Took me weeks to become proficient with Accio. Took weeks for me to get anything right when I transferred here. It gets easier, I promise.
That's good to hear. It's a lot to take in all at once.
To put it lightly, I remember how I felt when I first arrived. I transferred here from Wagadu just before my 4th year. My mother received an offer to teach divination here. Before I knew it, we had left Uganda and were halfway around the world at a new school in a new country.
Is Wagadu much bigger than Hogwarts?
Wagadu School of Magic is the largest wizarding school in the world. So yes, bigger than Hogwarts. But it never seemed intimidating or overwhelming to me. It always felt like home.
This may seem an odd question, but is magic the same there as it is here?
Mostly, yes. But I did have to learn how to use a wand when I arrived here. Hardly anyone at Wagadu uses one.
You can cast spells without a wand?
Oh, yes. I find wandless magic to be much more instinctive. Not to mention quite convenient if one is without their wand. I must admit, however, that I am growing quite fond of using a wand. It seems very dramatic.
It's nice to learn about another wizarding school.
Thank you for asking. I do miss Wagadu, but I am glad to be here at Hogwarts.
Yeah,
I think Professor Ronan wants
Harry
to talk
Potter
to
main
you.
series, they didn't
Better
do
not
much
keep
in the
him
way
waiting.
of
Until
getting
next
into any
time.
details about other schools.
Of course.
That's pretty cool.
You can use Accio
A word,
humans.
if you would.
Revelio.
You're so inclined.
Well, you'd be using it on clothing, to be precise.
After my brother learned the summoning charm, it was constant Accio this, Accio that, cutlery.
Professor Ronan reminds me of my grandfather. Loads of wisdom, but a bit mad.
You wanted to speak with me, Professor?
I did. I trust your first charms lesson lived up to expectation?
Well, an outdoor competition wasn't exactly the lesson I was expecting, sir.
What charm is there in the expected? You did well, managing to best as gifted a student as Miss Onai.
Thank you, Professor. I enjoyed the match.
Miss Onai is always a fierce competitor, though I sense that she is a bit distracted of late. Now, Professor Weasley has asked that your professors give you instruction outside of the ordinary curriculum. Expect to hear from me soon regarding a special assignment that I am preparing for you.
Hello there. You're the new student, aren't you?
Hello, you wanted to speak to me?
Samantha Dale. I've been eager to meet you. You're the student everyone's been whispering about. Hope your first day's going well. You certainly seem to hold your own in charms.
I've been fortunate. Beginner's luck.
My brother William would tell you not to be so humble and to trust your abilities. Then again, he tends to be overconfident in his. Well, better see to my charms homework. I'm afraid I can't count on beginner's luck to impress Professor Ronan. All of my siblings have gone on to work for the ministry.
Accio!
Where were you? In the Goblin Rebellion of 1752?
And by the end of it, the Minister for Magic.
Revelio.
Stop it, Peeves, you'll get us in trouble.
In trouble you will be, but you can't give Peeves a smack. She says it's a boot, and he says it's a flat.
Peeves, enough. You'll get us all detached.
Leviosa.
And you're both wrong anyway. It was Hephaestus Gore.
It wasn't boots and it wasn't flat, but you're all in trouble with Professor Black.
All right, Pete.
Revelio.
Oh, nearly had the snake.
You can't imagine how inconvenient travel was before I invented sleep.
Yeah, because I live in it.
Got a peek at the prefect's bathroom this year. Tried this class for a week.
On these pictures, right? We passed
Lumos.
Will's image area. In this area, find something that looks like the top of the astronomy tower, so
Can't catch me!
wherever you go, see this moth. Almost moth will follow you back to the picture. Distinguish lumens. Go back to it. How do you do scan? Some of them are much harder than others, but generally speaking, you shouldn't have to travel too far from the find the moth. But if you're unfamiliar with the castle at all, or even just beginning area, travel a lot. I took 10-15 minutes on one last night. I gave up. I went to go continue following my quest, and sure enough, I found the moth. So
Where do the perfect...
I know that there's quests to do. I'll start following them again in a second. It's always good to just, as soon as you finish a quest, just like roam around a little bit, because there's like chests that you find in secluded areas, even if you can't get further because of a locked door or something. In the beginning, you find a lot of like garments and things to wear. Gear section, they actually give you like boosts and stats. Those are like awesome. Put on. Those will become necessary later on. The cool thing is, though, as weird as some of the stuff may look, you can actually go into your gear. Like, let's say, like, look, so these don't give me any boost in anything. These do. I like the look of the other ones better. So what I could do is change the appearance. Hover over this thing, change the appearance. I can actually make them look like my dark arts gloves got from pre-ordering the game. Or I can make them look like the other gloves I have in my inventory, black ones. Which is cool, right? Still have the benefits of the gear I equipped. I can change the way it looks. Or I could hide it, make it invisible. It looks like I don't have any gear at all. I still have the benefit. That's awesome. I think that's super cool. So So I'm not locked into some weird looking gear just because of its stat boost. Look however I want. Glasses here. Aha. Simple. I really forgot that I had to physically go in here to collect rewards. I had so much stuff.
Having to solve things every time you want to go to the bottom.
You'll notice when you're like running around and exploring the castle that get really jittery and stuttery stuff. Now, if you notice in the top left, I'll actually show for you, but I have just a small little FPS metrics overlay. Get massive frame dips when you go around the castle too quick. That is most certainly due to things loading in. And I know that for an open world style game like this, it's so vast and massive that that has to do with the possible areas you could see from where your vantage point is, but also from where you around. It changes quite dynamically in what's being rendered by your graphics card. A game like this where, yeah, you have like some big, double doors that will lead out to this area here, right? And then boom, all of a sudden, you're rendering. Move around the castle way too quick, and you try going through these doors before anything's loaded, it'll actually like block you. Like a really quick but still noticeable like loading little icon that spins. Like this one here. This one.
Lumos.
Go ahead.
Revelio.
My mother sent me a howler after I got a paw on my transfiguration owl.
This is the one.
Lumos.
It's not in that like general main area where you think the picture's showing you. It's all like the archway pillars and stuff. But
Revelio.
What's happened there? Split second. It's choppy enough to be noticeable, pleasant.
What about the room, Professor?
I was thinking the same thing, Deke. Perhaps you could help.
Oh, excuse, Deke.
Ah, there you are. I trust your first classes went well?
They did, Professor.
I heard as much from Professors Hecat and Ronan. Seems Professor Fig taught you quite a bit before you arrived. I'd wager there's a good deal more to your travels here than what you've told me. Isn't there?
Nothing more, Professor.
I see. Like trying to get a sonnet from a streeler. Regardless, you must continue to build upon what you've learned. In that regard, I've asked your professors to help hasten your progress with some extra assignments.
Professor Ronan did mention something about that.
In fact, Professor Ronan will meet you outside momentarily to assign your first one. Now, regarding the trip to Hogsmeade I mentioned earlier, we've arranged to replace the supplies lost on your way here, including seeds, potion recipes, and spellcrafts.
Thank you, Professor.
And Mr. Ollivander will connect you with the perfect wand. You've managed your classes well with a borrowed wand, but you'll find the magic you cast with your own wand to be far superior.
Sir.
I'm eager to get to Hogsmeade.
Very well. I'd like you to make your first visit to the village with a classmate. Help you get your bearings. Perhaps Sebastian Sallow or Natsai Onai. I've noticed you spending time with them.
I'd like to go with Sebastian.
Glad to hear it. Mr. Sallow is a capable young wizard, and he knows the area. He'll keep you well clear of any of Victor Rookwood's undesirables en route.
Rookwood?
A rather unsavory local. Best to avoid him and his associates, including his right hand of sorts, Theophilus Harlow, if you can. Once you've finished Professor Ronan's assignment, your friend will meet you at the castle doors. No time to waste. The sooner you complete your work, the sooner you can enjoy a butterbeer at the Three Broomsticks.
Got it. So, I'm thinking for this gameplay playthrough that I'm gonna probably try to keep each part around an hour. Just don't want to overwhelm stream, do too much at once. Also, you know, gives me a chance to do things and work my full-time job. So, probably be ending this when I come back, and I'll do another hour, maybe tonight after work. Go to Hogsmeade and we can get our wand and stuff. Actually, you know what?
There you are.
Quick.
You have a new spell to teach me, Professor.
Indeed I do, and an exceedingly useful one at that. The mending charm, Reparo. Fixes things right up, makes a broken object good as new in the blink of an eye.
It seems as if that might come in handy.
More frequently than one would imagine. As Professor Weasley mentioned, I am not the only one who will be teaching you spells outside of class in an effort to catch you up with your peers. A number of your professors have agreed to do so as well, but first, each shall ask that you complete a few preliminary tasks to hone your magic. I have arranged some for today. See them through and then report back to me. We will have you casting Reparo in no time.
I'll start on the task right away, Professor.
Tasks are super simple.
Accio! Got it.
Pages form.
A flying page must be around here somewhere. Brilliant.
Super easy spot. Right near him. Back. Spell.
I trust the preliminary...
I completed the assignments, Professor.
Marvelous. You clearly know your way around basic charms. Let us give the old mending charm a try then, shall we? Remember to be deliberate in your enunciation and movements. I want to see some vigor. Now, wand at the ready.
Yes, sir.
Remember, your wand is a conduit of your magic.
Alright.
That's it. Very good. If you would like to practice mending something, have a go with that broken statue in the alcove by the water. It allegedly symbolized heartbreak.
Repair it.
Perhaps a jilted lover thought it too accurate and lashed out.
I would say so. Cool. Well, alright guys, this is where I'm going to leave it now. Enjoyed that. Sorry about the mix-up with the first half of the playthrough. I started it from scratch. I will fix that after I end this, and seamless experience from the very beginning.